Hey guys, Threx here. I just wanted to talk a little bit today about VR and what I think of it, and just my overall opinion about like how things are gonna go with that. Um, and yeah, in the background there's a little bit of Far Cry Primal. I absolutely love this game so far. If you haven't looked into it, I would definitely say try it out um, before you just knock it entirely. I don't know. I don't play a lot of Far Cry games, but I really like Primal so far. But yeah, anyways, about VR. I mean, I love the fact that VR is coming out this year. Um, like all the big companies are launching their form of VR or virtual reality, and I am super excited about that. I mean, I've basically been waiting my whole life for something like virtual reality to, actually become a reality. And but that being said, I definitely think VR has a tough road ahead of it. Mostly because of the fact that at least right now, I mean, I know the technology is still new and everything, but there's a there's a there's a solid chance that it could fall flat on its face just because it can't reach the masses. Um, and the reason I say that is just because of the price. Like, I mean, no matter how hyped you are about VR, not everybody has between $600 to $800 to drop on a VR headset on top of having a beefy computer. Because you have to basically have a $1,000+ computer to be able to use the VR headsets properly. And then the VR headsets, like the HTC Vive and the Oculus Rift, are between $600 to $800, and that's really steep. Like I'm super excited for VR, and I'm gonna have to wait a while before I can get my hands on it because one, I don't have a beefy computer that can handle the VR headsets, and two, I can't afford the headsets right now because holy crap, I mean, for a lot of people, $600, $800 is a lot of money. So I would say like definitely price wise, I think PlayStation VR is going to be like the most cost effective way to get into VR. I know there's Google Cardboard, but the thing with Google Cardboard or Samsung's VR is like Samsung's VR for example, I think that's still 200 for the headset, and then you still have to have like a $600 phone to be able to use it. Which that's still a lot of money. So I think the cheapest way to get into it will probably end up being PlayStation VR, even though there isn't any, as far as I know, there isn't any 100% like confirmed pricing for that yet. But I've heard people talk about the ballpark of like 400 to 600, which yeah, that's a lot still. But if you already own a PS4, that's only a $400 console. Um, if you already own a PS4, you're all set. You just buy the VR headset and you're set to go. As to where, like I said, with other forms of VR, especially for PC, you're gonna have to pay at least 1,000 just to have a beefy enough computer because you have to have like just for the Oculus Rift, you have to have bare minimum like a GTX 970, which is over a $300 card, and you have to have a solid i5 processor if I remember right. And then you got to talk about you have to remember all the other components and Windows and all that. It's gonna be expensive. Um, and I mean, I guess when you think about it, I guess probably the absolute cheapest way would be, well, could be through Google Cardboard. Um, but I don't. I mean, obviously, you're not going to get the same experience from Cardboard as you would from any of the other big VR solutions. Um, and the thing with Google Cardboard is that you still have to have a beefy phone to do it. Like I have a friend who's been trying to use Google Cardboard with they have a Samsung Galaxy S4, and yeah, it's a couple generations behind, but it's not a weak phone by any means. It's still got a 1.9 gigahertz processor, 1.9 gigahertz quad core processor, which for a phone that's still not weak at all. Like I have a phone sitting next to me that has a quad core 1.2 gigahertz processor, and it'll run every game on Google Play very smoothly for the most part. So I mean, 1.9 gigahertz quad core is not weak, and it lags Google Cardboard. In many instances, from what I was told by my friend. So yeah, you still have to have a multi-$100 phone just to be able to use Google Cardboard. Um, so I mean, yeah, the bit, I don't know. Like I said, I'm really excited for VR. Um, but it's not going to just. I don't think like sales wise and everything. It's not just gonna like take off entirely. I mean, I heard news about the HTC Vive selling 15,000 units in 10 minutes, but that's normal for anything that has a lot of hype built up for it, you know. Um, I mean, that's when all the die-hard people are going to jump out and buy that shit. So, just because it sold 15,000 units in 10 minutes doesn't mean it's going to, stay at that rate of sale. Um, and it most likely won't because the Vive is an $800 VR headset, and not everybody has the hardware or the money to be able to, handle the HTC Vive. Um, but yeah, I don't know. That's just my opinion about it. It's unfortunate, but at the same time, like I mean, I definitely understand. Like they're not charging a massive premium for, the names or anything. I mean, I've looked at the technology that's inside of these headsets. I would definitely say in terms of the hardware, it's definitely worth the money. It's just still unfortunate that it costs so much because that just means, a lot of people aren't going to be able to get into it for a little while until prices come down. Um, and especially in the way the world is right now, it's not that easy to just save up and everything um, for that stuff. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it there. Tell me what you think in the comments, and definitely, if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe. This is Threx, and I will see you in the next video.